What's up, it's Jim from TechnoVault, and in this video I'm going to teach you how you can make really powerful and professional asset presets only using Vital. You can download the preset that I'm making for free, as well as some extra free Vital presets with the link below on our website. And if you really want to go in depth into hard techno Vital sound design, we have a full course available on our website. I think you'll like it. We start as always with an asset melody. And you can see there's velocity changes. This is important because it will react to the cutoff later. I'm going to take down all the voices so we only have one voice. And now I just enable legato and gliding. The next thing you want to do is immediately open a filter. Most people just use the first filter, but in a second I'll show you why these filters are really important and you have to choose the right ones. Add resonance. Take envelope 2 and add this to the cutoff. Now, you don't want to open this level too much, but you do want to add it a bit. And depending on your asset sound, you want to open it more. And you can play around with the curve here and the length of your envelope. This makes it super snappy. And this makes it way longer. This also goes for this here. Just realize that you can use the envelope and the amount here to create very different asset sounds. For now, I like it to be a little bit open, not too much. And a bit long like this. Now, to hear what we're doing after a filter and asset, you always add some sort of distortion. I like the hard clipper for now all the way. And the next thing you want to do is use macro 1 to find the lowest point. I would say this obviously doesn't sound like acid, but as you move towards the mids, you can start to hear the acid sound. I like this. Then we open the macro and we take down the level until we find the highest possible acid sound. Now we can use macro 1 to play through the cutoff from the lowest to the highest point. Now is a good time to demonstrate that different filters have different sounds. This is an analog filter, but we can change this to a dirty filter. And you notice they have slight differences between them, right? I will accentuate this effect even more a little bit later in the video, so make sure to stick around. A really good one I can recommend is the low shelf diode, because it's very beefy and has a lot of low end, which is important. And I'm gonna just readjust the levels, because per filter, the lowest and highest point and the resonance settings basically change a little bit. Increase some resonance. And we can use the blend, so it doesn't become a blend pass, but as you can see, it kind of rolls off the lows, right? So do that a bit. Because when you roll off the lows, you give more room to the mids, which then get distorted more, which is the acidic sound anyways. A trick to spice up your acid sounds as well, by kind of letting the lows go down and letting the mids breathe more, you can use the squeeze warp mode on a saw wave to either make it very hollow or boost it and make it more squarey. So now what I'm gonna do is go to the effects and add an EQ and boost the highs a bit. There's a lot of character here. And as you go, you keep adjusting the envelopes and the cutoff settings. This way you can change the sound as you go and kind of dial in an acid sound that you want. There's no rules and it really comes down to preference, right? As long as you make sure the lowest and the highest point are always good, like that's proper acid, you know, maybe a bit more. This is perfect. So what we didn't talk about yet is the velocity changes that you can see here in the MIDI pattern and mapping them to the cutoff. So you can use the velocity right here and just add that to this here, to the cutoff. I like this more than adding it right to the filter because sometimes it gets a bit too extreme. We already locked in the lowest and the highest point of our acid sound, so might as well use the velocity right within that range. You can imagine that if we put it right on the filter and we're here, then it kind of overshoots, you know what I mean? The downside is that at some point this velocity won't do anything anymore because the range is squeezed out. But I'm willing to make that trade-off. We go to the matrix and we can see the velocity mapped to macro 1. I'm going to change this a bit. I want this to be way more drastic. Like I want the lowest notes to not really do anything, but once you go into the high velocity, right here, you can see this is the low hits. Here are the high hits, right? Basically saying like if we change the velocity a little bit at the low points, it doesn't really change the cutoff too much. But when you really put it like here, it really changes the sound a lot. Another thing you can add the velocity to is the attack to the envelope, which controls the cutoff. This adds that like wah-wah effect when the velocity is very high. People often think we only have one drive, and that's true. We can't really add another distortion, which sucks. I would love to have one more distortion unit or even more, you know? But you can use filters and the drive of them. So instead of driving this here, which kind of beefs up the sound too much, I'm gonna open filter 2 and assign filter 1 in here and remove oscillator 2. So now the saw wave goes in filter 1 and filter 1 goes in filter 2. I'm gonna roll this into a high pass, remove the resonance, and now we can just kind of control the lows that come out of filter 1. Why I wanna do that is because when the lows are very high, the mids get overshadowed and you don't really get your acid sound, as shown by adding a lot of drive. So what we can do is play the acid sound, no drive, and then roll off the lows here. And notice how you get tone changes. We can change this to 24 dB as well. And then we increase the drive. So this is also the point where I wanted to come back on, because every filter has a different characteristic and we didn't necessarily hear it here, but now let's go through them. I have to change this because it was a bandpass, so I roll off the bandpass so it becomes a low pass, and then I can add drive again, right? So I had to flip that. And now suddenly you have a lot of tone control because you can use different filters. You can roll off frequencies, change the slopes from bandpass to high pass, low pass, add drive, choose filter types. And this really helps shape the acid sound, which is something that I haven't really seen anywhere else. So things you really see in analog acid synthesizers are chorus, reverb, delay, etc. So let's add that a little bit, okay? Chorus, reverb, delay. I'm just assigning them here. And let's start with the delay. I like a stereo mode where you focus on the mids and it's rather fast. So 1/8, 1/8 on dotted. So it really fills up the spectrum. Then I like adding a reverb. Disable the delay for a second. And I like a time, kind of how it literally is set up here. The best way to tweak this is opening the mix all the way and then finding the sound that you like. The chorus frequency adds sort of chaos or like modulation to the reverb, which is good if you want to vague up the reverb and make it less clear like this. And I like this when it's opened a bit because it adds some kind of detune quality to the reverb and to the stereo image. I opt for a low size so the reverb kind of acts fast and has faster reflections. And finally, you can add a chorus. This already sounds amazing, but maybe focus a little bit on the lows and roll off the highs in the mid. But focus a bit on the mids and roll off the highs and the lows a little bit maybe. You can take down the depth to make it more contained, or make it really wide and take down the voices. I do like how this sounds though. So mix down. What you can do is add the chorus in front of the distortion, but this will really shape the acid sound though. So in this case, I keep it here. You obviously have one more filter, and with this one you can do static filtering sort of. I don't want this to react to anything, but what you can do is, for example, use a phaser. You can take down the mix and kind of just find the perfect spot to do this. Why you want to do this is because first we get this plucky, acidic sound, and we have this filter, and then we can cut away some frequencies that then the final sound gets routed into the distortion. And if you keep that static, you get very interesting sounds sometimes. And obviously the final effect that we didn't talk about is the compressor. If you want a very modern sort of blown up acid sound, you can put a multiband compressor in front of your distortion or after. Before makes it very beefy, afterwards is kind of cleaner but very squashed, because it gets distorted first and then multiband compressed. But I like using this on a single band instead and kind of adding a bit of attack to kind of make it a bit more snappy. You can increase the threshold here. And then just add makeup gain. If you add this afterwards, it's also going to really pump out all the wet effects. I don't really like it too much, so I just keep it here. So the final result we then have when we move the cutoff knob. Don't forget to download this preset for free on our website. I threw in some extra Vital presets for free for you. And if you really want to go in depth, do not forget to check out our course on Vital Serum 2 Hard Techno Sound Design. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.